we can do. Okay, so 3 times Om. Sahana Vavatu. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. I'll chant the Shanti Mantra, peace invocation. Om Bhadram Karnebhya Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabhirya Jatraha Sthirairangai Istushtuvagan Sastanubhihi Vyasema Devahitai Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Bruhaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So far we have seen that 3 disciples are asking a question regarding this origin of world, regarding prana having a supreme or most powerful or beholding this body, and the same prana also beholding or substratum of this universe also. And that prana subdivides into 5: prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. And the same division of 5 is in a cosmos as well. So the prana corresponding cosmos is the Sana Devata, Surya Devata. Apana corresponding in a cosmos is a Prithvi Devata. Vyana corresponding in a cosmos is a Vayu Devata. Samana corresponding in a cosmos is a Antariksha or space. Okay. And Udana corresponding in a cosmos is a fire, the fire Devata. Okay. So that way there is already a unison. One don't need to make that union. One don't need to establish the union. Union is there already. There is a oneness only, but there is a notion of barrier which I have kept, I have created. There is a notion of barrier which I have created between me, so-called me, and the world. It can be said this way also: when there is a individuality, then there is a world or the total. When there is a here individuality, then there is a total or world. When there is no individuality or the barrier is gone, there are no two. Even though it's a full of manyness, is a plural world, but it's a one homogeneous world. Okay. And where am I? So I am that one homogeneous world. Experiencing through this body or this BMI, this body-mind complex. It's fine. But not only experiencing through here also. I might, have a exalted experience at that time. But generally is. Okay. So I am not limited to the organs or components of this BMI complex only. Much more thing happens. That's the almost infinite avenue of chances open up. So that's the upasana of prana one is supposed to perform, so that one can connect with the total, one can connect with the Hiranyagarbha, identify with the Hiranyagarbha, and from there only there is a next step which is called the identifying or being one with the attribute-less consciousness principle. Okay. Yes, that was one statement somewhere I just read, that till this point of Hiranyagarbha or totality, we need to work on ourselves, definitely. We need to work on the ego level or ignorance level and annihilate the ignorance or ego so much so that the natural connection between the total is vivid or evident to us. Once that is established, there is so much enough momentum, okay, then the rest of the journey of connecting with the attribute-less Brahman, okay, is like a cruise control. Okay. Yes, there is enough momentum, so there is a pull, rather. There is a pull from other side, so-called other side, and one gets sucked into it. Okay. So, a lot of our problems or troubles or challenges are just to work with or deal with our own ego. That's what Ramakrishna Paramahansa also says this way, that when you are trying to enter into the oceans, the waves will push you back to the beach. So that waves you have to overcome, and that overcoming the wave is a real challenge. Once the seashore level waves are being taken care of, one is inside the ocean, then oceanic breeze only will take one away into the ocean and the other side of the ocean, wherever one wants to go. Then oceanic breeze will help. But before that, one has to just keep trying to overcome the initial waves. And go to a certain point where that oceanic breeze can take over. And that time, no much of a work. Just put the sail on, particular direction accordingly, and just chill out. So, same here also. Much of our problems, challenges, what we call, is that till certain point, where our ego pops in every single time, and just dictates the terms, When that is worked out, naturally I have connection with the total, that's clear. With my faith, also if I take in, I have connection with the God or with my Guru, and Guru is not just like me also. I am also body, Guru is also body, and extraordinary person, not that way only. Okay. But that Guru Tattva is pervading this cosmos. I am connected with that. Okay. Not only limited to one particular form. Okay. It can be a God also, my Ishta Devata. I am not connected with only, say, Shivalinga or one Shivji or Krishna Bhagwan. So Krishna Bhagwan, they are also and in total also, that way. Means I am not hooked up or limited by the form. Okay.
Dattatreya had so many gurus.
Yeah, like that. Dattatreya had so many gurus. So that also can be the possible, more than one gurus. Okay. Externally. So that also is possible. So let this thing happen. Okay. So that particular upasana is being prescribed over here just to cut down our own ego, our own barrier which I have created unknowingly, unconsciously, which separates us from the universe or universal consciousness. So that part we have seen already in question 3 or query 3. Okay. And now we'll go further in query 4. And in query 3 also we have seen that the one who has done this upasana of prana upasana, one gains good enough longevity, and his or her sons and daughters also gets good life. Well, that's also a sidekick kind of, The main benefit definitely I connect with the higher. That's during the life, and the afterlife or after death, the individual is entitled to go to the Brahmaloka or highest realm in the creation, where there is an ideal situation for the self-knowledge. There is ideal environment, ideal mindset, and the best teacher available for the self-knowledge. And that's where one gets into the self-knowledge pursuit, and easily one gets the self-knowledge because the rest of the things are taken care of. The mind is already made best available, for the self-knowledge. So the qualification is set. Okay. So the fact is, if the qualification is set, even this Prithvi Loka also can be the best possible. It is said that there are 2 places only the best possible for the self-knowledge. That one Brahmaloka, second where we are. Okay. So make avail the best out of it. Okay. So that we have seen. And now we can check on query 4 after just having seen that prana upasana. That query 4 is from another shishya, another disciple. Third query is over. The disciple is satisfied. And now that he sits down, the fourth disciple also stands up, approaches the teacher, sits below at his feet, and asks the question. That we can also imagine. And the question is like that. In now query 4, section 4. Athahi enam sauryayani gargyah papracha bhagavan etasmin purushe kani swapanti kani asmin jagrati katara esha devah swapnan pashyati kasya etat sukham bhavati kasminnu sarve sampratisthita bhavanti iti. Okay, the fourth disciple, his name is Sauryayani Gargya. Okay, that's the name. So Garga Gotra Utpanna, we can say like that. Sauryayani is the name. Atha means after finishing the third question and answer as well. Hi enam, the same teacher is being asked the question. Okay, what is the question? Again, he got the hint, this disciple, that you can ask multiple questions in a one. Okay, so the same thing over here. Okay, so he says there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. So take avail the best out of it, So Bhagavan, or Lord, etasmin purushe kani swapanti. The question is related to dream state. So now this question or this query is now pointing towards avasthatraya, 3 states of existence, or are 3 states. Okay. So the question 1, Kani Swapanti. Okay, means in this body, Purushe, okay, what sleeps? Okay. Swapna Kale, Kani Swapanti, Kani Jagrati. When there is a dream state, okay, who is awake? Katara Esha Devaha, the one who is awake. Katara Esha Deva Swapnan Pashyati, who sees the dream. Okay. Because the Deva is put here because it has to be sentient being, because there is a process of experience. And for experience, there has to be experiencer. Experiencer is necessary. So the third question is says, okay, there is the effulgent being who is seeing that dream, who is watching or observing that dream. And something sleeps, something keeps awake, and that Deva, effulgent being, is watching the dream. Who is that? That's the 3 questions. Fourth one, Kasya etat sukham bhavati. There is a sukham, means a deep sleep sukham. Deep sleep joy, happiness. That deep sleep joy belongs to whom? Okay. So as we go further, the question also becomes deeper and deeper. Okay. Kasya, to which Purusha, to whom this deep sleep belongs to? Okay. So if the same question or same message is also given in other Upanishads also. Like a Sushupti Kale Sakale Viline Tejo Vibhuya Sukham Sampati. Everything is submerged into one or nothingness, and then there is a happiness during the deep sleep state. Okay, that's in a Kaivalya Upanishad. Okay, so this deep sleep state belongs to whom? And then the 5th question is Kasminnu sarve sampratishtha bhavanti. Pratisthata bhavanti iti. Now the 5th question is regarding the Turiya Avastha. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti and Turiya. Or we can say beyond deep sleep. Okay. The last question is pointing towards state beyond deep sleep. Okay. So Kasmin means to what substratum. Survey means all organs, everybody, all sentient beings, what we know, they are supported to. Some pratisthata, supported to. Okay. Means what is the substratum of all the different faculties, all the different organs or faculties rather, or different devas, which function in this body and behold this body as well. So now, by asking this question, we can understand that now the prana upasana is naturally over. Now there is an inquiry about the nature of self. Okay, with help of avasthatraya or 3 states of consciousness. Iti Gargya papracha. That way Gargya asked this 5 questions. Okay. So now comes the Vedantic discussion. Bit by bit, it goes deeper and deeper. But initially, it talks about the dream state, and we can also add the waking state. The student doesn't ask the question about the waking state; it's understood. That's why. In waking state only, he's asking question, and he's listening to answers. So that's understood. We can add on. We can add why? Because that way we can complete the avasthatraya. Avasthatraya means the 3 states of consciousness: the waking, dream and deep sleep. And top of Avasthatraya, there is a Turiya or state 4, fourth state. Okay, Turiya Avastha, which is substratum of all this BMI and all different devatas as well. Okay. So that's the question. So now the question being in the area of inquiry into the self, the answer also will follow that way. I told earlier that as the question, so the answer will be. So question is if about the world and happening of the world, the answer also will be like that. If question is about the world and the cause of the world, answer will be accordingly that way. Okay. And now question is about the nature of self or inquiry into the state of consciousness. Rather, technically, that's an inquiry about the nature of the state of consciousness. That's fine. So the nature of state of consciousness, and that is 3, and the 4th is beyond these 3. That's where the Shruti or Upanishad want us to go. Okay, as a part of inquiry. So again, systematically, the teacher answers the question one by one. First, dream state, then deep sleep state, and then Turiya state. Okay, and the waking state is understood that way. Okay. So now, second mantra. Tasmai saho vacha yatha gargya marichayah arkasya antam gachatah sarva etasmin tejo mandale eki bhavati ta punah udayatah pracharanti evam havai tat sarvam pare deve manasi eki bhavanti tena tarhi esha purushah na shrunoti na pashyati na jigrati na rasayate na sprushate na abhivadate na adatte na anandayate na visrujate na iyayate swapiti iti achakshate. Okay, it's a lot of Sanskrit, no? Quite a lot of, yes. It's like a small paragraph kind of, over here. So that's the answer from Pippalada Rishi. He says, Tasmai sa hovacha. Tasmai saha uvacha. He replies to Gargya. Okay. The first question has been answered. Kani swapanti, that's the first question. So the answer has its own way. First, I'll just explain how the answer is being given. That naturally, during dream state, who sleeps? Okay. So naturally the gross body, the senses, 5 senses of perception, 5 senses of action. Okay. So these are resolved. These are resolved not permanently but temporarily. Resolved where? In a mind. Resolved in a mind. Okay. So that's one. And just to make understand this phenomena, because when the dream is over and person is eventually awake, again the same all 5 plus 5, 10 senses again come up. Okay, they also get activated like that. So to help understand this phenomena, that Shruti is giving example of sun. So when the setting sun, we see that is about to set, the all rays also get merged into with the sun, and they just disappear. Okay. And when there is a rising sun, we see that the rays come from the sun. Okay, so they resolve into sun, and they come back from the sun, like that. So these rays are compared with the senses, our senses, and this is how the phenomena happens in us also during dream state. Okay. So same.
What is the sun? What does the sun represent?
Mind.
Mind.
Mind. So all the senses resolve into the mind and they activate from the mind when they wake up. Okay. So now that particular phenomena, I'll just see through the mantra words. He Gargya, astam gacchata marichayah sarvan etasmin teju mandale eki bhavati. Okay, same. The sun rays dissolve into the one sun when there is a sunset, and when there is a sunrise, they come up. Okay, same way. Okay, same way. Ekam tat sarvam pare deve manasi eki bhavati. The same way this sense is, okay, pare deve manasi, in mind, and mind is how? Deva, means that's a sentient being. One factor is also the same fact that mind is also part of these 5 great elements. Okay, which is subtle, but subtle 5 great elements. Elements, of course, inert in a nature. Okay, but there is a sentiency reflected by mind, and that sentiency is called jiva. It's called chidabhasa in a technical word, but that is a jiva, and that jiva is here deva. That is called deva here. Okay. So chidabhasa yukta mana, like that, means reflected consciousness. The mind with the reflected consciousness is called deva, manasi, in a mind. Okay, so all senses resolve into the mind. Okay, and what is the nature of the mind? Pare, that particular substratum is higher compared to senses. So senses are upper, means lower. This mind is higher in a nature, and that's why even in a waking world also we know that mind is a must in order to register. Otherwise the senses might be functioning, but if the mind is absent behind, the experience won't be registered. Okay, the mind is elsewhere, the words cannot be registered, or the person's presence may be also we fail to register, like that. Okay, so the mind is important, more important. In senses has its own importance, but the mind is a higher. That's what is the point is said over here. So tena tarhi esha purusha, means during dream state, all the senses resolve into the mind, and that's why na shrunoti, na pashyati, na jighrate, na rasayate, na sprushate, means that's why one cannot see, one cannot listen, one cannot taste, smell, touch. Okay, means one is cut off from the external world, the waking world rather.
Actually, you're not really cut off, because if your alarm goes, then you wake up.
Means over there cut off in the sense that the senses are not functional. There is something which definitely there is the thin thread is always there, and that's why we come back also from the deep sleep or the dream state. But in terms of sense perception, there is a cut off. And when this alarm goes off, or somebody kicks, or somebody like shouts, or something happens, you know, yes, or snores or anything, you know, then something else happens, you know, which breaks our dream or deep sleep phenomena and come back, like that. But in general terms, in normal case rather, you know, there is a cut off from the senses point of view. Okay. And that's why things are in front, we don't see. Even sometimes, you know, some people sleep half eyes open, like that, or something like that, you know. So they don't see actually, you know. Eyes might be open, ears are open all the time, but they don't hear, like that. So that happens. They don't talk, yeah, rather exceptions are always there. They don't hold, they don't, do anything. They don't move. Of course, exceptions are there also, sleepwalking and all. But there is no conscious effort basically, rather. We can put that way. What the Purusha is doing, swapiti. Okay. One is asleep. Okay. And one is watching the dreams. Okay. There are two internal states, the watching the dream or deep sleep. So, how one is cut off from the waking world in general is been explained. And why so? Because all the senses are resolved into the mind. Okay. The senses are not functional. The rays are resolved into the sun when there is no light. The rays are outside the sun or just going away, there is a light, or daytime we say. Okay, so that's one. And then there is something else which is also awake during this state. And what is that? We'll see. Next mantra. Pranagnaya etasmin pure jagrati garhyapatyava hava esha apana vyana anvaharya pachanaha yad garhyapatyat praniyate pranayanad ahvaniyaf pranaha. Now, here in this mantra, the couple of things are being explained. One is what is awake. Okay, see the question, one is answered, what is asleep during deep, what is not functioning, so all the senses, 5 plus 5. What is awake? So over there mind is also said awake. Here something else is also awake. It says, even in a deep sushupti avastha also, what is the awake? Prana. Pancha prana. All 5 pranas are functional during all 3 states: waking, dream and deep sleep. And that's why we wake up. Otherwise nobody would dare go to sleep. Okay, we wake up. Why? Because the prana is functional, the breathing is going on, the respirator is going on, etc., etc. The movements are going on. Okay. So the pranas are functioning. The prana as jagrata. That's one. Okay. The second thing is also here mentioned. That's little important to understand also. And it is compared with one Vedic ritual which is called homam. We do homa, any kind of a homa. Okay, havanam, like that. So this process is also compared with the havanam. Process of what? Process of dreaming. Okay. So in which certain things are functional, which are compared with the havanam. And in havanam what happens, that we can just outline it first. That there is a fire. And the fire is also of several type. Fire as such is one only, but several type based on the function also. It's called Dakshinagni, Garhyapatyagni, Ahvani Agni, like that, So that fire makes the havan possible. Okay. And then there is a Yajmanam. Okay. The one who performs the havan. There is a Hota or priest who literally performs a havan for the householder or Yajmanam. Fire is already there. And then there is a ritual. Okay. And as a result of the fire, there is a result. The phalam. The phalam was also there. These aspects are compared over here also in our regular state of a dream. Okay. So what says here, what it says that Hota means a priest who offer the oblations. Okay. the way Hota and Yajmana, Yajman is right next and performs Havanam, and the result is what in general? That Punya Loka, just gaining the Punya of the Havanam. Okay, and that Punya or the merit will take the Yajmana to the heavens or higher joys, will give higher joys basically. We can say heaven also or higher joys. So that's the result part of any Havanam. Okay, any Vedic Havanam. Okay. So I'll repeat, there is a fire, several type of fire, priest and the Yajmana. There is a process of ritual, and result of the ritual is a punya or merit, and because of the merit one gets the higher joy. Okay, we can say Swarga also, Swarga or the heavens, like that. So now same connection is made over here by the Shruti. It says Apana is a Garhya Pratna Agni. It's Agni, it's a fire. Now we have to just compare with Havanam this particular process which is naturally happening. Okay, Prana is a Ahvaniya Agni. Okay, Vyana is a Dakshina Agni. Okay, so even the Vyana is like, located everywhere, but its locus is a heart, where we have seen that, and heart also, that right side, right compartment, that's where the Vyana stays. Very precise also, very precise also. So it stays in a right compartment. And here the same way Dakshinagni is called. That's also right side. Right side of the Havanakunda area need to put like that. Okay. See, right now this kind of Vedic rituals are not in trend or not performed. Okay. Very rarely performed, and rituals nature also has changed. There will be Havan, but not in a Vedic style. Okay, there are Havans going on, but different way. Now some simplifications is done, some changes are also done. So all these three kind of fire and these are not right now done. Okay, but one can do because the process is available. Okay, so this three pranas we have seen, and then Samana is a Hota, is a priest. Okay, and then who is the Yajmanam? The Yajmana is the mind. Okay, well, the simile I'm just brushing up and just going away. Okay, etasmin pure pranagnaya jagrati. Okay, now what happens here is very important. So that way, this process of Havanam happens, same way in a state called dream state, this particular process can be compared with the Havanam. Can be compared with the Havanam, which is a natural process, natural phenomena, dream. But it can be compared with the Havanam process. And the way result of Havanam is a merit and higher joys, same way here there is a result of dream which is merit, higher joy in terms of deep sleep. In terms of deep sleep. And that's why in the I guess in the next mantra, that's what is called Yajmanam Aharaha Brahma Gamayati. That's in mantra number 4 is been said. Okay, that ahuti is given, oblations are being given in terms of prana, like a breathing is happening. So that's nothing but the prana and apana uchvasa, nichvasa. No. So that's a ahuti, oblation. Mind is a yajamana. And ishta phalam, the result is udana. See how beautiful comparison is, because udana generally takes jiva to the next loka after death. Okay. The same way here also, that udana is compared with the punya phala, result. Okay. It's a simile. We need to just make it simile. And result, ultimate result is a aharaha brahma gamayati. That is a deep sleep state. Here Brahma means now not literally Brahma, but a deep sleep state. Because see, deep sleep state is also analyzed elsewhere very nicely. That is also, actually that is the joy or bliss of Brahman only. But covered, encircled by ignorance. In Vivek Chudamani also said, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Ajnana bimba pratibimba chumbita chetana. He says like that. There is a chetana, pure chetana, because there are no attributes as such over there, but it is covered by ignorance. Chetan is not affected by ignorance, we are affected by ignorance, like that. Okay. So here also, aharaha brahma gamayati. Okay. Means one goes to deep sleep state. And at that time, there is no identification with the mind also. Earlier, no identification with the senses. Now over here, no identification with the mind also. No sthula sharira, no sukshma sharira. Identification, nothing. That is called sushupti. And that time, one is one with the Brahman. Because there is no ego. But there is a seed of ego, which is called karana sharira or ignorance. Okay. So all our conditioning is dropped. Why? Because mind is frozen, mind is not available, right? But it is a temporary phenomena. Okay. With ignorance, that particular phase is, and that's why, the ignorance will take play at one point and will come back. Okay. Naturally or by some sound. Okay. Or something happens to the body, like alarm goes off, kind of. Anything. One comes back. Because the thread is still there, But that is a joy of Brahman, curtailed by ignorance. And that's why everybody wants to go to sleep. Sleep is never boring. Okay, it's never boring.
Relax.
It's never boring. So, now the point is, person does Agnihotra Havanam, the Vedic Havanam every day. Every day this Havanam is going on. This is a natural process. But it is a Havanam also. But for whom? For the seeker, for the sadhaka. One can see this phenomena that way. And as one sees or perceives, so the result will be. In the world also is the same, in the waking world also same, and in these three states also the same. If one sees, okay, it's just a normal natural thing, natural phenomena, okay. But the cultured mind, cultivated mind, the sadhaka, the seeker, can see this state differently. Okay. So over here, the three states are being explained very beautifully with help of that particular ritual. And the pranas are awake. Okay. But prana doesn't have its own sentiency. Mind has. The mind has. So functioning of the prana goes on during deep sleep state. But the mind is frozen asleep. Okay, is merged as though for a time being. Is not permanent merger, but temporary one. Okay.
So there is something of the nature of a sacred process every time we fall asleep.
Cyclic process?
So sacred.
Sacred process, yes.
Without us knowing.
Without us knowing. This is a sacred process. And Upasaka, the sadhaka, seeker, need to see this phenomena this particular distinct way. If one sees, then there is a sacredness. Or it's just an ordinary thing. It's just ordinary sunrise and sunset, like that, it goes there, one sees that way. See, it all depends on how we perceive. So here, the Shruti is encouraging us, encouraging the sadhaka to see these three states in this particular distinct way. Update the attitude, and the result also will be updated. Okay. It's that simple.
How do you update the attitude?
Sorry, how?
How? How do you update the attitude?
Okay, that's what here is Shruti is also trying. That attitude towards three states we are talking, So, this going to dream and from the dream to deep sleep actually is a ritual, is a sacred process. With that awareness, you see these three states. Okay. So instead of looking at these states as a happening, just normal happening, automatic or natural, we switch it to this one. It is Agnihotra Havanam. Agnihotra Havanam is a very sacred thing in a waking world, isn't it? It's a very sacred one. It's a very divine one, very important one. The same sacred and same divinity also belongs to that sleep and the dream state also. From dream, I go to deep sleep state. So, that attitude of importance over here also I need to transmit. Meditate the states this way. And sink into that particular way or attitude, so much so that when there is this process happened, I see it as a great Havanam I have done. Not that normally it happened, See, same, I just give another attitude, example. Eating. So eating also for the relishing, enjoying and all. And things happen, just you eat, chew and eat and just throw it down and all. It's normal process. The second process, second attitude changes, same eating happens, but I am feeding to Vaishwanar Agni residing over here. Attitude change, the entire same operation gives another result altogether. Okay. The Lord resides over here, Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, okay, that this digestive fire, Samanam, that I am that Samanam, I am that fire. Okay, so that is the oblation I give to the digestive fire. Okay? And that's the attitude, updation, that mantra is chanted, Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagno Brahmanautam, right before the lunch or dinner or any meal. Okay. So that particular aspect we need to fit in, with the right bhava, right feeling, right bhakti. That way. So that example over here in the food, same way here now, another example with respect to the dream and deep sleep. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we can say that in the waking state, that when we're eating, we're offering it. But in the sleep state,
during sleep we can't, yes, that's true. But I can recall these states which I do every day, and put it enough gravity and see it as one sacred ritual I did.
And before sleeping, we can do.
Before sleeping also, yes. 'Cause this is now I'm just preparing for the great ritual. Like I just comes to me that like we drink tea, okay, done, like that. But in Japan, there is a tea ceremony. It's a ceremony. It takes time. Slowly things happen. People sit down, very quiet, no talking. We just talk, and we don't know when the tea finished. That one. Oh, finished. Okay. Second.
Real enjoyment.
So no talking. Yes. No talking. Just focus into the tea. The pouring the hot water, and then pouring the green tea. Let it settle. Let it change the color. The aroma come, and then slowly pick up the glass and sip. Put it back. Enjoy the sip. This is a ceremony. It's a sacred thing. The same tea, drinking tea. Yeah, it may take 1 hour, but but at least we have time actually. We can do that. Okay. So same way here also. Of course, we have to do before and after only, because that during we are not available. Or in a best case, this understanding is so deep. In a dream also we are doing the same. And that's the best case I'm talking. But that attitude we need to translate into. That helps. And that way this natural phenomena help us awaken, from this periphery of the nature. Right now we are fixed, that I am this only. Three states of consciousness, and the one body, and particular lifespan, that many old person, and a few more years to see. That's all. So that's a cage also, another.
Bhagwan also referred to the waking state as a dream state, except that it has continuity.
That's true. That's another height,
Yeah.
That also has been mentioned very nicely in a Upanishad called Mandukya Upanishad. So over there the same also, that waking and the dream has not much of a change, except that continuation. And that's why after that process being explained, the fact is being explained, the naming is updated of waking and dream state. The naming is updated by saying that waking dream and dream. Like that.
It's by reference to a different reality. When we speak to dream, it's because we take all this as reality. Bhagavan was referring to a higher reality.
Yeah.
So dream started from there.
Yeah.
True. So that's what it is. So here also, who will do this? The upasaka only will do. One's mind is very much focused. One's mind is pure. Those only can do all this. Otherwise, the same phenomena can be different. Like, say, for example, one goes to temple. That person one will be full of devotion and will be so much joyous by just watching Bhagwan's, Bhagwan's murti and his clothes and all. One will just watch Bhagwan and, prostrate and bow down, etc. Another person might just come and just see, Bhagwan is wearing very nice clothes. I also should have such. Third person might be atheist completely and says, okay, it's nothing, not like a Bhagwan, it's just like one metal or something. That same thing happens with this, this ancient temples. Some go for the prayer purpose, and some go for the photo purpose. They go and just click the photographs, and that's all, like that. Combo is also there, but like attitude matters basically. So now, etasmin sarire kani asmin jagrati kani swapiti, that we have seen. Okay. And now the Bhagwan is talking about this this phenomena again and again, why things happens, and what kind of joy one gets during deep sleep state is being told over here. So Purnamada Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.